Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh by Shem Yahushua by Shem Kudash. Send double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Send much peace, love, and salutations to Yahakim out there pushing the word of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in sincerity and truth. It's the brother Ariala. This is just a quick World War III Algo update. This is not going to be long. Pretty sure you brothers are abreast to what's been going on, recent movements and approvals by the United States through Nato with allowing for long-range missiles to be used by the Ukrainian army. Now, they had to get these missiles from the U.S. and then, which we understand is that military arm of the beast system that we talk about all the time in the book of Revelation and in the book of Daniel. We see it we see it active. This is a major provocation. That's why I got this word provocation pulled up in Etymology Online. When you look up this word provocation, it goes back to meaning incitement or urging, right? This is what is it exciting? It is exciting war, which we know is prophetic, a calling forth, a summoning, a challenge, all right? From the word provocaire, to call out, okay? To call out, specifically act of exciting anger or vexation, anything that excites anger and cause of resentment. And definitely this is a something that can excite the anger of the Russians and their allies. You got North Korea over there, because now the Ukrainians can strike deeper into Russia and hit more military battlements and stuff of that nature. Okay, and so this is provoking World War III, which we know is an inevitability, right? We always read this scripture, Revelation chapter 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, right? And so if they were able to strike deeper into Russia, causing significant damage, and stuff like that, well, this would be an act of war from NATO itself, because they wouldn't have been able to do this without the U.S. and NATO agreeing upon this thing. And we know this power has been given unto the beast to do these type of things, And so we read Revelation chapter 13, skip down to 12. It says, and he exercises, talking about that beast, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, talking about the Roman structure and system, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. And this is that NATO component, to be able to send long-range missiles. They've been doing this since Kosovo and everything like that, and continue to carry out color revolutions in the name of democracy, okay? Taking down government, setting things up, but this time it's going to backfire and lead into Armageddon, as the scriptures say, all right? So they're able to bring this fire down. They're able to do all these things. This is just stirring up more and more rumors. Now, you'll see, I was watching the priest Shaman talk about this same topic, and he was mentioning it, how, when it comes to UFOs, when it comes to WW3, a lot of this stuff is just clickbait for alternative media sites to get you to come and click. You'll see Alex Jones saying, oh, NATO or the US has just started World War III, and make these provocative statements, the provocative statements, all right, to just get you to click on it. But it's more just rumors. The scripture says these things will need to be so. All right, we're still waiting on the MOTB and everything like that. So a lot of not a lot, but a few powerful prophecies still have to go down. Here in Matthew 24:6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Those as of us in the know, right? For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So we're seeing a lot of these things culminate, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, before I move forward, I want to read. I don't want to read. I want to play this clip. And it's funny, man. I used to like Jason A. And then you have the anonymous page. It's like when the elections start coming, they just started just putting up, throwing up videos to get as much clicks as possible, man. And it's making their page lackluster because they're just putting up regurgitated information, clickbaity things. Sometimes they'll put a title and then you'll watch it and it's just BS. So, you know, this page used to be really, really good, but it's definitely gotten watered down lately with just spamming basically their info, and so it's just it's getting corny with how they're moving. But there's these first 3 minutes I'm gonna play, and whatever y'all got in the chat, we'll talk about it real quick, and we'll close it up.
We are today under Joe Biden. We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden.
Bloomberg's got a story this morning that North Korea, we know they've sent at least 3,000.
And it don't matter which president is in, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, Kamala, the Most High is in control of this thing. You know? He's in control of this thing. Matter of fact, I'll read that real quick, then I'm going to play. Proverbs 21:1. I'll see him get in KJV. Real quick. 21:1 says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay? So the Most High is in control of this. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts, which we know that word heart is the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind. Okay? So it don't matter who is in there. The Most High is determined that this place is going to descend into perdition.
Troops to help Russia. Bloomberg says there's a possibility they could send up to 100,000.
A Russian lawmaker saying a move by the Biden administration as it relates to Ukraine risks starting World War III. So here's what's happening.
100,000 North Korean troops, even if hypothetical, could be a huge escalation. Can you give the figure a little bit of context?
This has certainly been concerning for South Korea and certainly for the president. It was very clear when we spoke to Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner that the deployment of these North Korean forces, which could be up to 100,000 inside Russia, that was the game changer, and that's what changed the White House and President Biden's calculus, Steve.
Lucas, I think it has a lot to do with who won the election, too.
Well, there's long been a feeling amongst the civilian population as well as the military that Western countries, and in particular the United States, have only given them enough weapons to hold the ground against Russia, not to take the fight to them. They believe that basically the West is scared of Russia. Well, they're hoping now with this new permission to fire long-range missiles, things may have changed.
Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues. We risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities.
Time by President Lula of Brazil, who is hosting this G20 meeting of the world's biggest economies. They actually represent 85% of the world's GDP here in Brazil, meeting today and tomorrow. 75% of global trade. They are going, of course, to be...
So there's a lot going on, man. You got these world leaders down in the South America meeting. You got 100 or potentially tens of thousands of North Korean troops to aid Russia. We'll see what happens with that, which they're using as an excuse to say, hey, we want to approve these long-range missiles to be used in Ukraine. Now, I think they wanted to use it anyway. Doesn't matter. But even North Korea's been, doing tests with their long-range hypersonic missiles. So, if they was to strike deeper into Russia and hit a significant target, it could cause Russia to pull out more of their heavy artillery, because Russia really is still taking it pretty light on the Ukraine. You know, you're not seeing swaths of people being killed as far as like thousands and thousands of people at a time. All right. We still have yet to see a major outbreak in fighting, but we're getting closer. Okay. Now, the whole mindset of them doing this before the inauguration and provoking things like this, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Be talking about big global issues like climate change, like poverty eradication, but overshadowing events here is the war in Ukraine. And there is going to be a communique. There you can see now Keir Starmer greeting being met by the Brazilian president. They'll have a photograph. He will then go inside, and actually in a few minutes' time, you can expect what's described as the family photo.
Your friend, where was he? They're telling Biden, they're telling him to wait for Biden, guys. Oh my God. You see it so far left to the left of the palm tree. Oh my God. But they took it. Yep. It's right there. Behind the palm tree right now.
But now the UK, Germany, everybody's got to go in there, because you put 100,000 men into that fight to a country that has lost about 700,000. The estimates are Russia lost 700,000 off the battlefield, 250,000 dead. It's a stunning number, but they don't care about their people. They put in the poor, the one without influence, and they basically tell them, now you got to go.
Ukraine has said they could be used to stop or slow down troop movements or destroy Russian air or military.
Now they're saying that the hundreds of thousands of Russian troops have been killed, which, you know, it might be true. I don't know. But like we said, that we still haven't seen the bigger weaponry be used in this fight.
Military bases, which would help Ukraine in the defense of its own territory. And this map shows how far the missiles could reach inside Russia and the potential targets. They include airfields, ammunition warehouses, radars, and missile bases. Now, on the face of it,
now this could cause Russia to start striking the U.S. military bases that are in and around those regions where stuff is getting transported in by NATO troops. So, hey, they start using these weapons and start getting more shipments of these weapons. Russia could look to stop those shipments by striking these different bases and these artillery routes.
It's a big military edge, but the Russians are already responding by moving hardware and personnel out of range. The Biden administration has made clear it's the presence of North Korean troops here in the Kursk region that pushed them to change their minds on the use of ATACMS. It means the Ukrainian army can now use them to repel Russia's anticipated counteroffensive in Kursk. Ukraine captured this territory in August and is now attempting to defend it. President Biden's decision will likely see the British government follow suit, allowing the use of its Storm Shadow missiles. Storm Shadow has a shorter range, about 155 miles, and it's launched from an aircraft. But the Russians are furious, seeing this latest development as a major provocation as it crosses some of Putin's red lines. They've not made clear how they'll respond, but a response is coming. It could take the form of support for the West's enemies or even a cyber attack on its interests.
Donald Trump ran on wrapping it up as quickly as he can, so I don't think he really cares what the Biden administration.
Boom. So, yeah, all of these things are what? Provocations leading to what? Escalation of bigger armaments. When we read this here, Isaiah 9:5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's what we're looking for, man. We're looking for these style of skirmishes. with heavier artillery, you know, laying waste to cities and things around about. So, like I said, we not sure really how Russia is going to respond to this. We're still kind of just kind of sitting back and waiting. We know that there's other prophecies economically and politically that have to go down. We're going to see that, but it's possible for this stuff to go down, and they're really trying to make as much disruption as possible before the inauguration. This is what we were talking about in some of the last videos. Is this period of time between the election and inauguration is going to get very, very juicy. And so it's looking like this is going to be a major part of it, okay? Let me see. Any scriptures brothers want to pull up, and then we'll close out. Isaiah 13:4, Brother GMS Only Truth put Isaiah 13:4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. Yeah. So especially when you see North Korea join in the fray, all right, now these other European NATO nations are adding into the artillery, is gonna force Russia and their allies to step their games up. And so we hope for it to escalate. So that was a really good update. I felt like that was interesting. I try not to just do clickbaity stuff unless I feel like the news is actually pretty juicy. I tend not to mess with it, but this I felt like was very intriguing and interesting. And so just like everything, man, we're still gonna stay on our watch, and it's just kind of recorded as we go. With that being said, I'm gonna say call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakah Kudash. Once again, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah in sincerity and truth. Shalom.